Hello, hello, hello. Yes, there we are. We are streaming, we are live, and we are going to choose the best trailer, the best key art, and the best launch overall from the 8th of April, sorry, 8th of May 2025. So let's start scrolling down to the 8th of May. Today is the 9th, but the days from today they keep coming in, so we're gonna go for 8th of May. So let's do it. Let's get right away. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go through all this. We're gonna go through all this list here on Steam, and then after that we gonna after we choose uh, a few shortlisters or runner-ups for the prizes of today, we're gonna go and ask Perplexity which are the most anticipated titles for the day of yesterday on Steam in terms of DLCs and new games. Should we count how many games we have participating today? So um, today we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, think so, something like that. 70, 70, 80. All right, 80 games. See you lay down. That's my dog. Just looking at me and making me nervous. Good. Now he's chilling. Sometimes you need to tell dogs like chill down because they don't know that they're supposed to chill. They just come to you and say like, "Hey, what am I supposed to do now? I'm confused." And you just have to give them an order. At least that's with my dog. Anyway, so let's start right away and let's see if we can shortlist a few of these games. So we have now, let's see if I can find as well. Yeah, we're streaming. We're streaming. So let's see if I got anything today. Live streams. Yeah, that's me. Boom. There you go. I gave him some feedback. All right.
Yeah,
So let's
we're
see what we got
streaming. We're
today.
streaming.
So let's see there. So yeah, we start with the backroom loop. No, here is the top. Perfect. So as always, I try to be very brutal with this list. It has to be something that really stands out. A capsule that is very well executed. And to be honest, backroom loop is kind of stands out, but and you are this guy. This guy could have been a lot more, better executed. So it's a bit blurry. Everything is a bit mixed up, right? On this one, you can see that it's a guy with a mask, and it stands out, but it will have been more interesting if the color of this per character uh, will be will be of a different color of the background. But good idea here. And backroom loop, it doesn't say match the name, so we just gonna ignore it. If it is good, if it's something to look forward to, it will appear on the Perplexity search. Double trip, it stands out very nice, and you have the name quite nice and big, but you don't know what it is about, right? So we're gonna leave it here. Vendetta Forever. This why stands out because it's red, and it's something about vengeance because that's what vendetta is, forever vengeance. And I'm imagining that since it's saying vendetta, it has something to do with Italy or something like that. It's a VR game, so but still it's in Steam, and I think that that is valid. So you know what? It tells a story. The game, the name, the capsule tells a story, and it might be for you or not. And then if you go a little closer, there's something there. I don't know what that means, but anyway, let's get it on the short list, just because. There, boom, and let's move forward. Vendetta Forever, you are first on our list. Keep going. Nothing that really grabs my attention. Pixelshire. Pixelshire. There's something there. Pixelshire. Right? It's like it's a sort of like a middle-aged pixel world. I'm okay. I'll buy that. So I'm gonna move this here because it looks silly. I'll buy that. But that Pixelshire, sure. You are in Pixelshire. Cool. We're gonna have to replace the, find a better key art for it, but it looks like it's, could be good. Cache cleaner. This is a bit messy. It's too messy. You're not coming in. Dungeon Monarch. Okay, let's keep going. Nothing that really grabs my attention here. Darfall maybe, but I don't know what that means. Midnight Walk. It's a bit hard to read, and this is too dark. Mole Haste. Grey Snowfall. This grabbed my attention, I have to say. Even though the color is, it could have done better. Uh, includes 2 game. No, I'll let it pass. I'll let it pass. But it's not a bad practice. It's just that these colors don't really, if this color was perhaps in contrast, and I knew a little bit more about this person, I guess that this is the person that I'd be dealing with, or I become this person. Yes, your grace. Is that the grace? Snowfall? Yeah, it's too confusing the name as well. So no. Dunk Dunk. It looks like it is basketball, but you really have to make an effort to see that if it's got basketball. Let's keep moving. Undivine, Tracking Killer. Let's keep moving. Cuatro Man. Peel a Banana. Just go. Is a Peel a Banana Simulator or what is it? Mm-hmm. Nothing really popping. Tower Dominion, they could have done it better if they used different colors on the background. So I'm gonna let it pass. I'm sorry, Tower Dominion. You have to be really, really, really good to stand out here. Or just do it right. Cool. AFL 26. Um, bad reviews. Oopsie. Okay, cool. So let's go to Perplexity now. I like it. We're moving fast. Let's go to Perplexity now and see what they have to say. And we bring it. It doesn't want to come to the other. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna move this one here. And we're gonna do this nice and big. Boom. There. What were the most anticipated uh, games and DLCs launch on Steam yesterday, 8th of May 2025? What were the most anticipated games and DLCs launched on Steam yesterday, 8th of May 2025? Right? Yeah, let's go. Cool. Most anticipated Steam game launches on May 2025. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Captain Blood actually wasn't delivered yesterday. So let's continue. So, Revenge of the Savage Planet. Let's go there. Revenge of the Savage Planet. Okay, includes 2 games. And that's the trailer, 8th of May. That's the one. Let's get that key art going. I wonder what does these 2 games mean, but what do they mean with 2 games? Because it really looks like one. That's the key art. The key art could be a little messy, I must say. All right, back to Perplexity. The Midnight Walk. This one is one that grabbed my attention, right? The Midnight Walk. Boom. The Midnight Walk. Okay, yes. This rings the bell. Boom. Midnight Walk. Let's grab this bad boy, put it here. Who else? Imperial. Is it this one? Imperial. Mixed 8th of May. I'm gonna see if the Midnight Walk was right the time the date because I actually didn't double check. So I'm gonna do that. After I do this. Yeah. Yeah, 8th of May. Then the other one is Imperial Spirit of the North. Spirit of the North 2? I think it was Spirit of the North. Let me see. Spirit of the North 2. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's see. We close this. I like it when they do this live broadcast. I like that. 8th of May, Spirit of the North. It's the North. Spirit of the North. Boom. There. All right. Ah, my English, my English, my English. My pronunciation is just like a bad karma chasing me everywhere. All right, let's continue. And Perplexity, Spirit of the North 2, Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall. That one grabbed my attention. They did something good because they did grab my attention, but it wasn't necessarily technically sound the capsule, but there you go. I mean, it did grab my attention. The thing is that if I go completely to everything that grabs my attention, then, and I can't really explain it on technical terms why it did. I know I can explain it why it grabbed my attention. So there was a lady there that it was looking into the camera. Eyes are very, very difficult to ignore. When you have a pair of eyes that are looking at you, that's very difficult to ignore. And but the name didn't say much, and the colors were a little bit blurry and very similar to the colors on the background of Steam, and that's why I didn't want to reward it. But the eyes, they caught me. Inhibition of Return, the killer of Inhibition of Return. All right, so yes, Your Grace. There it is. Snowfall. Cool. You see, it's interesting. They could have changed the background for the background color for the capsule, and they will have crashed it because this is very, very good. So anyway, yes, Your Grace. I think I'm gonna start being a bit more flexible when there are eyes looking at you. and the name is clear, I'm gonna start letting them in. Okay, cool. Yes, Your Grace. And then Perplexity, what do you have to say? Creature Keeper. Creature Keeper. There it is. Creature Keeper is the 8th of May. That checks out. Cool. Creature Keeper. Cool, and we have place for one more, right? So it should be okay. We should be making it Captain Blood. I know that is from a couple of days ago. Let's double check. Yeah, that was the 6th of May. I reviewed that one. Shame. Shame about the trailer. The trailer, the game looks great. The trailer looks like they really tried hard to be funny, and I think that they killed a little bit the energy of the game. I wrote a post about that. Bamut and the Wak Wak tree. Okay, Bamut and the Wak Wak tree. I'm gonna have to copy paste this because I don't know what that is. I don't know if I remember correctly. What happens if I do this? Nothing. Okay. I don't know if I remember correctly how to type that name. Bamut and the Wak Wak tree. Yeah, I bumped into that one, right? Has good reviews. All right, let's do it. And we're gonna take the key art. The key art seems a bit meh. I'm sure that the story is a lot more complex and appealing than just the name. The name doesn't say much either, so um, that's a unique choice. Boom. All right, let's do it. So these are our contestants. We have to change the key art for these two, and then probably we should do that. Let's drink some water. Let's go. How long we've been streaming? We've been streaming for 18 minutes. Love it. Now let's go to my favorite part of this thing, which is the review. Vendetta Forever. Coolio. And let's start with the screenshots. They look pretty unique. A unique style is VR, right? And it's a cool style for VR. Interesting. They throw you with knives and ninja stars. Cool. I think the screenshots are really good because they really show you right away what the game is about and the style of the game, which is the most important thing, I guess. Let's see what happens here. Welcome to Cult Action Paradise. Vendetta Forever is the critically acclaimed love letter to cult action cinema that combines iconic cinematic-inspired scenes with exhilarating VR action powered by low kill motion. Shoot to kill to move. Okay, welcome to the Cult Action Paradise. Vendetta Forever is the critically acclaimed love letter to cult action cinema that combines iconic cinematic inspired scenes with accelerating VR action powered to low kill motion. Okay, cool. It doesn't say much about the fantasy, but maybe it's not about the fantasy, the game. So we'll see. Let's take the key art as well, so we can judge that too. Um, go like this. There. Cool. So, let's check it out. Let's check the trailer. It doesn't have a trailer. Ah, what a shame. It doesn't have a trailer. That's a shame. Okay, cool. So let's give it a score already. I kept the scores from the old one, so sorry about that. So let's go. So Vendetta Forever, the screenshots are very good. I think they're very good. So we're gonna give it a 4. The copy doesn't say much of it doesn't tell you much of a fantasy. It's very descriptive. It talks about this cult movie or scenes that I wasn't aware of, and I'm not the most a cultural guy in the world, but I've seen movies, many before, and I don't know what they're talking about. So the copy is regular, it's not awful, because they talk about the action and it's okay. The key art, I think the key art is okay, it's regular, and the trailer is non-existent. So rather than 1, I will say 0. It's just another trailer. Cool. So let's go to Pixelshire and move on. But let's talk about this quickly. So welcome to the Cold Action Paradise. Cold Action Paradise. Okay. So Vendetta Forever is the critically acclaimed love letter to cult action cinema that combines iconic cinematic inspired scenes with accelerated VR action. So I guess that there's what it's trying to say is that they copy cinema scenes from different movies, right? So from cold, okay, different scenes from cold films. All right, cool, cool. It took me a while to understand, but anyway, I think it's okay. All right. So Pixelshire. Let's see. So this is Pixelshire. So this looks like a mobile game. It is mostly negative. I have a good eye. All right. The screenshots seems like this kind of farmer kind of place. It's like a little town. And let's do it. Chop chop. Big Jack. Logger. Stop. Follow. All right. It seems like a pretty big world that they see from the top. So it's an RPG, kind of, I don't know, we'll see what it is. Yeah, town builder. Build a city builder. Build a town of Pixelshire, Pixelshare, Pixelshare, and grow your community in a unique RPG sandbox which mixes life sim elements with town building, exploration, and combat. Express yourself by planning the town to your liking, master traits, get to know your neighbors, and explore the continent of Arcadia. All right, good stuff. I think this is an interesting it's an interesting it's not like a crazy amount of fantasy push, but I think it's really nice. It's the game is well sold and its capabilities and what you will be experiencing. So what will you be doing and the sandbox side of it, management game. I like it. Cool, let's go. Cool. I think that's it is a bit of a shame that the trailer was so long. I think that it's also it was missing it was definitely missing some captions that explain what the game is about. And I totally missed that. And if they were there, I didn't see them, which is as bad. Um, and this happens a lot that I see this over and over and over and over again that trailers are edited in a way that that they fail to put a message across or an emotional uh, hook across, and they just don't put any captions whatsoever or any VO. And on top of that, they make the trailer way too long, unnecessarily long, because if you're not putting any captions for me to help me understand the game mechanics that you're actually selling or the fantasy that you're selling, and on top of that, you then you don't really need the space to make a trailer that long. And if you make a trailer super long, most likely especially on a game like this, you will be showing the same thing or the same thing over and over. That for you as a developer, you can see the differences between shot and shot and why each shot is different and needs to be there. But from the audience perspective, it just looks more of the same, more of gameplay. If a game, especially if it's a game like this, over the top, pixel, rather simple, not in complexity, but rather from the visuals, right? So yeah. So what a shame. Uh, you could use. You just need to re-edit this and add some cheap-looking captions, tell the story, the USPs, and say bye in 45 to 50 seconds, really, and that's it. Cool. So that was Pixelshire. Let's get as well their key art correctly. Pixel share. All right, cool. So the screenshots. Did we look at the screenshots? Yeah, we looked at the screenshots. So I think the screenshots were regular. I think the copy was good because even they explain the fantasy and the uniqueness or the offer of the game pretty well, pretty effectively. The key art is regular, I think. There's nothing that stands out. And these washed out colors, I don't get them. Give me some more it's, at least from the technical point of view, so you can actually stand out. And the trailer was too long, and it was hard to understand what was the whole thing about. So trailer was a one. Let's go to Revenge of the Savage Planet. Cool. Screenshots. I like the characters. I think that it's nice that they're pushing the characters right away and sort of like how you will be moving, sort of like this kind of like Spider-Man kind of mechanics, right? Pretty cool. There they are. They look cool. This way. All right. So you're going. That's pretty cool. I like it. Jumping around. It's sort of all of this sort of look like concept art, but maybe it's not. Maybe this is how the game looks. I guess we're about to find out. Look, they have nets, webs, like Spidey. I like the world. Very pretty. I think that the screenshots that they've chosen, they're pretty enticing. Look at these characters. I would have brought this character way earlier. But this is really interesting looking game. Like, look at this out the four first screenshots, right? And to me, this is very well executed. This is how what you're gonna be mostly doing, I think, and it looks pretty fun if you look at it. And it's that this is already very inviting. That's really cool. Then this is the character. You're a cool guy, and this is your friend, or vice versa. Pretty cool. So it's a co-op, or or you're gonna be, or this is part of your crew, even if there are AI. And this is a cool image as well, and way to travel. It's all about traveling. If you're swimming underwater, now I get it. And there are parachutes. This is really cool, man. I would have brought the battle side of it a lot earlier. This cool. I love it. Um, and it's very positive. Great. Revenge of the Savage Planet is an upbeat, satirical action-adventure sci-fi. Jump. Revenge of the Savage Planet is an upbeat, satirical action-adventure sci-fi. Jump, shoot, and collect your way across vibrant alien worlds, uncovering new gear and upgrades while discovering various hidden secrets. Cool, very positive. Glad for them. The reviews, I mean. Revenge, uh, sci-fi jump, shoot, collect your way across vibrant alien worlds, uncovering new gear and upgrades while discovering various hidden. I'm missing, seriously missing the fantasy here. What am I doing? What's my mission? Kind of thing. I think that they could have done better here, but the screenshots are lovely. Um, cool. Date announced trailer. You don't have a trailer for today? I guess I'm using the
Stuck on a planet with nowhere to poop?
The juiciest burgers in the galaxy. Burger Squirt.
What, the extreme burdens?
Hi, I'm Martin Tweed, former
Okay. 2 minutes.
CEO of Kindred Air.
2 minutes 21 seconds is the date announced. So it's a gameplay date announced trailer. So let's see how good it is.
Hi, I'm Martin Tweed, former CEO of Kindred Aerospace. Fired by Alta Interglobal and abandoned on the far edges of space with no gear, no job, and no plan. But don't panic! While they may have tossed you aside like so much garbage, worry not! Because you can always turn to Kindred for a solution. Introducing the Kindred Catalog. With the right resources, you can create tools such as the Goo Cannon from Sappers. Smother creatures in viscous green goo to make them slip instead of eating you. Disgusting. Or use your lasso to catch them. We promise that any research conducted will unlock more fabulous gear and that the harm to the creature will be minimal. Use conductive pharaoh goo to shock and open organic doors, or spread it on the ground to slow down a speedy foe. Or lay down a goo fuse. Then after your buddy has upgraded that pacifier pistol with a charged shot, light them all up. If that doesn't work, try
The Magborg from Kindred Labs.
move mountains, create platforms, grab makeshift spears from the environment, and remember, you still have
Your lasso and whip from Wild Times.
whip some critters to keep them at bay so you or your buddy can punt them off a cliff. Oh, the hilarity that will ensue! Then upgrade that whip so you can grapple launch yourself to new heights. Or better yet, kick a few critters into the air while you and your buddy pick them off with a brand new
Griffin Spunker Pacifier Pistol.
It's a homemade skeet shooting game. The Kindred Catalog. You have the tools, you have the imagination, and let's face it, you have the time. Find it, build it, then execute it. The wackier the plan, the juicier the solution. I'll be in touch. Onward and upward.
Cool. I have to say, I mean, it's a bit too long. I have something when trailers are trying to make me laugh too hard, you know? But What do I know? And I think that that this thing of this is very Fallout, right? And but on steroids in terms of like a little bit more bombastic, and I like it, but I'm not crazy about it. I personally would have been a lot more excited seeing more gameplay on its own than actually so much of this show around it. Because when you put all this show around it and all this VO and all this story and so on, it's hard to tell what is gameplay, like real actual gameplay, and what is actually a CGI. You know, and maybe your gameplay is amazing, it looks amazing, but because you put this frame of of CGI on it, which is basically the story and this gun and the jumping and the running, everything becomes too much, and I don't know if I'm seeing a story or if I'm actually seeing the game. And what I mean is like, am I seeing CGI or based, engine-based CGI, or am I seeing actually gameplay when they're doing all that talking and all this selling of in-game products? So I'm not sure about the trailer. I think the trailer is okay.
Smartbot from Hot Whiz.
I smush it down my throat.
Our new ding dong.
Greetings, brave explorer.
You see, how much does this do for the game? How much is this doing for the player? I don't hate it, but careful how much you use of it.
We here at Alta Interglobal would like to welcome you to our newest venture, the colonization of space. You've spent almost a century hurtling through the universe in cryosleep, ready to begin your work on this strange alien planet. Unfortunately, changing market conditions have led us to the realization that space exploration is far too costly and unpredictable, and Alta has decided to cancel all future plans in space. I regret to inform you that you have therefore been made redundant. Your final check has been sent. We thank you for your service, and we hope you eventually find a way home. Good luck.
Stuck on.
You see, this is a way better uh, launch trailer than the first one that we watched, than the date announced trailer. It's way better. Use this trailer again for launch. Put it out there, not the first one. Anyway, cool. Um, so let's give it a score. So I think the screenshots were amazing. So I'm gonna give it a 5. They were excellent. The copy was okay, was good. Actually, was regular because they didn't really give much of the. I really like this thing that you are you are a space worker and you're living on a different planet because of your company, and then you get fired. Now you have to find your way back. That sounds amazing. It's a good fantasy, and you can put it on like in 2 lines or 1 line, and put an extra layer to all this game mechanic description, satire, and all of that. So yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 2 because of that. The key art, let me see the key art a little bit more. The key art's a bit messy, so the key art I would say is 2, and the trailer is very well crafted, but not necessarily for the intent or the sake of selling the trailer. I feel. Uh, I find these trailers that they put so much humor and so on, a little bit pretentious, sorry, and most to the service of to the creative than actually the service of the product itself and selling the game. On the second trailer that we watched, that was actually, I don't know, the announcement trailer or the trailer that was saying that coming out somewhere in 2025. That it was prior to the last one. They don't have a launch trailer on Steam at least. Um, that trailer, for me as a player, it made me a lot more excited because I could see gameplay and it looked interesting. And the other one, I couldn't tell what was gameplay and what was CGI. I think they missed the mark there. So the trailer is going to be a 3, a good trailer. Good, decent, I would say. Um, I'm gonna change all these numbers because they don't belong there. I've been lazy and I just duplicated something that was already filled in. And I'm gonna do this one, the same with this one, since we are at it. It's gonna be a longer stream today, I think, but I think that this happens when the games are interesting and when there's something to say there. Cool. So the Midnight Walk. Let's go. This one seems to be an interesting one. Cool. Screenshots. Looks amazing. This is great. This is really cool. The art of the game. And hopefully this is good gameplay. Follow the Midnight Walk in a dark adventure for the minds behind Lost in Random. Befriend lost lantern creatures and light your way through a world of wonder and terror. Outsmart monsters and marvel at details in a landscape handcrafted with real clay and animated in stop motion style. Follow the Midnight Walk in a dark adventure from the minds behind the Lost in Random. Befriend a lost lantern creature and light your way through the world of wonder and terror at smart monsters and marvel detail in a landscape handcrafted with real clay and animated in stop motion style. That's pretty cool.
Dreadful was the day when the sun vanished. The waters dried up, birds went quiet, and the dark itself seeped unchecked into the work table. The night that followed would be long. Long as the midnight walk.
How could this happen? Oh, the flame warms the righteous, but the wicked, the flame burns with a passion.
What is the dark? Is it ugly and cruel? Is it a place for fools lost in the woods?
This little flame, keep them nurtured and safe through the rain, in the dark, and over Moon Mountain.
The dark itself is the key. All it needs is a little spark, and I get what I need.
The sun away.
Beautiful. Look at fast travel games, huh? Amazing. I thought the fast travel games were mostly working on VR games, but they're doing this beautiful stuff as well, and that's incredible. I think that something that happens very often when you upload these trailers is that the sound gets messed up, and whatever mix, careful mixing you've done with the piece, with the trailer, it just gets lost in the compression, and that's such a shame because there were loads of lines, and I'm listening to this with good quality headphones, and there are loads of lines there that I just couldn't hear it because it was all mixed up with the music and the sound effects and so on. So that was a shame. But I was impressed with the beauty of this trailer and the story, the beauty of the game and the stories they were telling and the way that it was animated is definitely a highlight. And the character looks very pretty. It's a journey that I would like to do and share, with someone I love, with my wife, my kids. Amazing. This is really, really cool. But I just could not hear what they were saying, and that's a shame. And that's a real shame. All right, cool. So I love the key art. I love the key art. I think this is so beautiful, and the game looks very beautiful, and I'm sure it's fine. It's fun. Very positive. Positive. 109 reviews. Amazing. I love to play it. Cool. So let's give it a score. I think that the screenshots they were very nice. They were beautiful. The copy was a good, solid copy, I think. So let's go there. Um, Actually, I will give it a 4 to the copy. The key art is fantastic. I love it. It's a 5. And the trailer is nice, but they couldn't hear much. I give it a 4. Although if I could hear, I will have given it a 5. But something though that I noticed is that on the trailer is that there was too much going on. I'm actually gonna give it a 3. It looked amazing visually, but when it comes to the sound was messed up. I'm sorry if I don't know if it is the problem of the compression or if the problem was sound mixing. I would imagine that they did a good job on the sound mix, but hey, uploading and making sure that it works well when you upload it is also part of the job. But I think that I saw in many occasions that there were voices, and right after you finish, hearing the voice, a sync, as we call it, then immediately a caption came in, which I was supposed to read, and then another thing came up, and the captions were coming, you know, very much in the same, competing with the beautiful picture that they were putting on the other side, right? So caption here, and the picture over there, and it was just, I was looking at the monitor to see if I was putting the hands correctly, and it just becomes too messy. So even though the trailer was beautiful, the execution was off in a few places. But lovely work. Midnight Walk. I'm very excited about that game. Cool. Imperial. Let's check this one out. Expensive game. 26 26 coconuts. That's quite a lot. All right. So screenshots. hmm There's a lot of fighting, and you can see so that they are correct. Third-person shooter. You can see the world. You can see the monsters. Nice angles. Fighting. Nothing wrong with it. I like it. You're mostly seeing the characters and the environments, and that's nice. Nice that you can see some of the UI here. To me, the UI is important. I like when good UI, when you have a good UI to, to show off. I like that. All right, cool environments, grand scenarios. What is this? Kind of like, seems like probably this kind of like Assassin's Creed sort of situation, right? All right. Ooh, big boss. Or is it a statue? I'm sure it's a boss. It looks like a statue, but don't be fooled. I'm sure it's a boss, and it will come out at the end of the trailer. Ha! Pretty sure. All right. And boy, there we go. Imperial is a complex, challenging, future-rich action RPG. Okay. In a far-flung corner of the galaxy, an expedition arrives on a hitherto unexplored planet to find a colossal monolith built by a lost civilization. All right. In a far-flung corner of the galaxy, an expedition arrives on the hitherto unexplored planet to find a colossal monolith built by a lost civilization. Cool. Why? I want to know. Imperial is a complex, challenging, feature-rich action RPG. I would have put this one at the end um, here because to me this is more important, and then at the end you can read the technicalities of it. You know, I don't know. Because maybe in technical terms the game might not be for me, but maybe you sold it from in the from the fantasy, from the emotional side of my brain, and maybe if you sold it to me, I keep on that side, which is the most likely I will make a decision on to continue reading or not. Then you can move with with the technical side because we always make decisions based on our emotional side, and when you bring details and facts and figures first, I still on the second half as interested as I start as on the first half, right? So maybe still uninterested or little interested. But if you start with the emotional side and you nail it, then I will be more interested to to read the second bit of your copy, which will be this one. And now if we switch it around, and maybe I would be more inclined to play a game, even if this is not my kind of game. I will be more inclined to play it because you sold me with the emotional side. So always come with the emotional side first. Some people say that you shouldn't, but I think you should. Anyway, let's look at the trailer. Launch trailer.
Immortality. The tree of life itself is to be found here. The divine spark will come when the monolith is opened.
Now, this is the kind of trailer that for me is 100% positively technically nailed. Why? It shows you so much of the game, 1 minute 12 seconds, and it has two one-liners that tells you everything you need to feel about the game that it can only set with words. And I don't remember the exact words, but I do remember what they said, which is the first one was immortality. Everything will be explained about immortality on over there on this game, on this planet, wherever you are arriving. And the second one comes, the second line says at the end. So they said that with that first one at the beginning, loads of game happen. They wow you with the images. Everything looked very exciting. You have time to see, to digest what the game is in all its richness, in all its complexities. And then at the end, it went with the monolith will explain everything once you open it, right? So you already have the goal there. And they had those two lines only. And then the VO got out of the way. The script got out of the way of the game, and the game really shone as much as it could. I love it. I'm gonna post this trailer. I'm gonna say something like that, definitely, because this is great. This is a really good trailer. Is it the flashiest trailer? Is the most amazing trailer? No, but technically, I think it's sound, and it's a great example of how a trailer communicates effectively. Good job. Love it. So, in a far corner of the galaxy, an expedition arrives here on Earth on an explored planet to find a colossal monolith to built by a lost civilization. I think that they lost a lot of details. I think that the first line was really cool on this trailer, so they should probably have included it somehow here. So anyway, let's go and give it uh, a score. So the screenshots were really good, I think. It shows you a lot about the game. The copy was regular, I would say. It wasn't bad, but they missed some opportunities to make it good. The key art, let me look at the key art. The key art, it doesn't say much. Here's a missed opportunity. You could have definitely used this guy. You can definitely could have seen the monolith. This doesn't say anything at all about the game, and I must say that the game, the name doesn't really helps it either. So I'm not sure if the key art is, it just doesn't serve the purpose, I think. And the fact that the colors are blue within a blue environment, I don't think it serves the purpose. So I would say that the key art is not good. Sorry. Uh, the trailer, the trailer is fantastic and it's technically sound. And I don't know if it's the kind of thing that it's not my kind of game necessarily, but it was so correct, so well crafted, and in terms of like so well executed. Perhaps there weren't too many bells and whistles in terms of like amazing CGI and and a lot of I could have used a little bit more stories and syncs from the game itself, maybe a sync, a one line. But I think that it was technically really sound, so I'm gonna give it a 4. So good job, Imperial. So, Spirit of the North 2. Cool. Spirit of the North. Let's look at the screenshots. Okay, so this is nice. There's some friendships between animals. Those things make me mushy inside. Animals helping each other. This is cute. It looks like an interesting game. It's like a third person, right? Third animal game. Ha! Cool. You have a magic tail. That's nice. You make friends with other animals. You're exploring. You have some cool lines. Glow in the dark. I think it looks like a pretty cozy mixed with danger game, right? And it looks very warm. All right, cool. Let's look at this. Unveil the mysteries of a beautiful ancient world in this breathtaking third-person adventure. A sequel to the acclaimed Spirit of the North, take on the role of an isolated fox with a raven companion on a quest to restore the lost guardians and return home. I love my pronunciation in English, it's so exquisite. It's very positive, that's nice. Unveil the mysteries of a beautiful ancient world in this breathtaking third-person adventure. You know, this is really nice, this is really inviting. Then in the middle, it gives you a little bit of details. a sequel to the acclaimed Spirit of the North. Take on the role of an isolated fox with a raven companion on a quest to restore the lost guardians and return home. Perfect. I love it. This is good. This is good. Spirit of the North, I like the key art. It's simple. It tells you who you are and your friend. That's really nice. I'm not sure about the two, but maybe the two doesn't need to take it doesn't need to shine so much because Spirit of the North is sort of like it's it really has to stand out within this interaction of the title. Spirit of the North is higher on hierarchy, so this is great. Cool. Let's move with the trailer and see what they have. It's an interesting game because it don't say much on the trailer, and I wonder if they do that intentionally because there's no much dialogue in the game, and I don't know, in this fantasy world, animals don't talk, and perhaps that's where they were trying to go with this. I haven't played the Spirit of the North, the prequel to this one, um, but a nice day today. There's some nice, interesting trailers and games that are coming out. This is fun, man. This is great. All right, cool. So really good job. I think that this is a really nice trailer. It's very inviting. It doesn't have one word. How long was the trailer? 1 minute 40, and I think that I was pretty hooked all the time, and the story was well told. Someone took over, some boss took over, and all animals ran away, and this fox and its friend is trying to get things right again, and they embark on a really cool, unique adventure. I love it. This is great. Cool. It's positive. Nice. Good for them. Cool. So let's give some scores uh to Spirit of the North. I would say that the screenshots were beautiful. So I get a 4 there. They get a 4 there. The copy was very good, a 4. The key art is good. It's an interesting key art, yeah. And I think that it's just correct, you know. And I think the trailer is very good. I really liked it. Let's go to Your Grace. Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall. Cool. So let's start with the screenshots. It's a pixel game. I love it when pixel games use normal key arts. You need to watch them very carefully. All right, so are you the king or royal agent? Right, end of week 11. Elanza, traits, fearless, organized, empowering. Okay, we have a plan. Bang. Someone gets killed. I like it. I think that as a pixel game, it looks really cool. I mean, the pixels, the only thing that are pixels are the characters, right? And then you have everything else is illustrated, except some other details. I think this is really cool. Very unique. So if we go back to the 4 pixels, the different kingdoms, seems like some sort of strategy. There's some story there. Laws of Davern. Cool. Nice. All right. So let's look at the captions. Rule your crumbling kingdom as you try to satisfy the petty needs of your people and this cinematic kingdom management RPG. Balance your resources, collect taxes, hire agents, and make difficult decisions to see your kingdom prosper or fail. Again, man. Okay, no, this is good. Cinematic Kingdom Management RPG. Kingdom Management RPG, how cool is that? All right. Rule your crumbling kingdom as you try to satisfy the petty needs of your people in this cinematic kingdom management RPG. Balance your resources, collect taxes, hire agents, and make difficult decisions to see your kingdom prosper or fail. All right. I like this. And the screenshots look really cool. And let's see what happens. It doesn't seem to have wish list. And this is it doesn't have a launch trailer. That's a shame. I think it's too short. I think it's, I always go for short trailers, but you can't really see what the game is about. I think that they should have taken some time to explain what the game is about. They only dive 100% on the emotional side, and I think this has to be a balance. So because these kind of games, management games, they are a little bit more complex. Let's see what the wish list.
Mula. Tebukan.
I think for the player, from the perspective of the player, this trailer, which is the wish list trailer, I think, gameplay trailer, is so much better than the launch trailer on the date release. So um, they are in a good place to make a mix of these two trailers and get a good launch trailer. Let me see if I can. Official release trailer. Let's look at this.
Attack against Sweden.
Yes. Huh? Oi, cara.
Cool. So, yes, I think it's the first one that we saw. They need a new trailer, and they have a mostly positive. They have a mostly positive review. They're in a perfect place to make um, a post-release campaign, get some reviews on the trailer, and edit the two trailers that you already have. Put them together, make it 45 seconds, 50 seconds, so you have some gameplay that is worth watching and some emotional intro that you're getting it right already with your people, your rules, your house. Put Cram that together nice and neatly and go out again. Um, you have the chance. You should do it. I'll do it for you. All right. Let's give Yes Your Grace some scores. I think that the screenshots are really good. So they're very good. So they're good. Let me see. They're good screenshots, man. They're really good screenshots, actually. If they are not excellent, if you ask me. So yeah, I know they're excellent. These screenshots are excellent. So I'm gonna give you a 5 for the screenshots. The copy is very good, 5. The key art is very good. The copy is excellent. Yeah, and the key art is very good. And the trailer, I think the trailer misses the mark, and is from regular to bad, really, because it doesn't show you anything for a launch trailer. So I'm gonna be pleasant there, and I'm gonna give them this regular. Tell them it's regular. Cool. Good job. Yes, Your Grace. Creature Keeper. Let's go, Creature Keeper. I'm gonna move this here. Boom. Creature Keeper. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that you perhaps will play on Steam. Maybe it is. And it's definitely not my kind of thing, I must say. But yeah, let's try not to be biased by that. Creature Keeper is an action adventure RPG where you befriend creatures and fight alongside them in real time. Explore a mysterious world and uncover the truth behind a strange sickness of spreading across the land. Power up your team, fill out your bestiary, and embark on your journey of destiny. Cool. All right, let's look at the trailer. It's I think it's not a bad copy. Um, it's correct. It's good. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna do this now because it's not the trailer that is gonna win the best trailer anyway, but it's a good example. What am I supposed to read here? This one? This one? Am I supposed to make sense of this? What am I trying to read here? So this is the captions, I'm pretty sure. So if you're gonna put a caption like this, don't expect me to read this only or even to see it. The chances for me to see that you're trying to realize that you're trying to talk to me diminish dramatically if you actually put this thing on top of all of this. So maybe what you want to do is you want to lower the opacity to 50% if you like, or make it dark in some more sophisticated way of the background for the background footage, and then bring this title right here in the middle and tell me what you want me to say. You tell me what you want me to understand nice and clearly. And then you can fade all that thing off, bring this background to full opacity and show me this if it makes sense to show it. If it's warranted that I for me to see this after you make me read this caption. Yeah, this is a very long trailer for the kind of game that it is. So yeah. Anyway, let's give it a score. The score is the screenshots are regular. The copy is regular. It's okay. The key art is regular, and the trailer is bad. It's too long, and they don't have that much to say, and there's too many captions coming at the same time, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to read, and yeah, it's a bit too long. So that's it. Let's go to Bahamut and the. I gotta I gotta do this the same I did here. Let's do this. Whoop. I have it here, so I might as well make my life easier. How much we've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. This one has been a long one. Boom. This is the one. Move this here. And let's go. So let's go to screenshots. Boom. Where's this thing? I guess that's what you are. I came. Rise and shine, young child. This one says or this one? Okay. Yeah, this tiny little thing here. Cute. So it's like a traveling sort of game from top. Okay. Nice. And let's go to the copy. Discover a once thriving ocean now tainted by enigmatic dark entities. Your quest? Decipher the mystery and rekindle the ocean's radiant light. Okay, cool. So, yeah, sorry, I have to think about it a little bit. So, your traveling is an exploration travel sort of game, and you have to save the ocean, right? From those dark entities. It looks interesting. It's quite unique on its art. The key art does no favors to the game or the game's marketing whatsoever. They should have done a lot better than this. What do they need? Well, they need the character, maybe more ocean. This doesn't say ocean in any way. This is a travel, it has to come up with, the character and the oceans and the magic of it. The traveling. It's just the logo. And the logo and the name doesn't say nothing about the game either, or at least not to. Maybe it says once you play the game, it has some meaning once you play the game, but not necessarily when you're trying to discover the game, right? When you're trying to be convinced to play the game, to understand what's on offer. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that you have to be extreme extremely clear when you're selling the game. They have to understand this is like the simulators, right? Used car simulator, tractor simulator, bus driver simulator. I don't mean it that way, but you have to understand what is this about, especially, but if you don't, if you're not gonna make me understand what the game is about through the name, make sure that the Kia does so, does so. So it's something has something's gotta give, you know, especially when people are just browsing, looking at keyards and reading names to decide what the name game they're gonna buy is going to be. This is a lovely trailer. I felt like it was going to be really nice from the moment I started watching it. I felt the artiness of it and the pacing. I thought, 2 minutes is too long, but at the same time, it seems like 2 minutes. They really thought about the time that each shot needed to to really sink in into the eyes and the minds and the hearts of the viewer. And they got that right. But it's not, but this trailer is not, it's clear. You know, there's a bit here when you see the character coming to life so beautifully. When you can see, where are you? Where are you? There. Oh, there. Here. Um, anyway, I think that there was a moment on the trailer that the character was looking at the camera, and I think that's your key art, right? That's who you are, and that is Bahamut, and I think that Bahamut should be here, and the logo should be a lot smaller, and behind should be the sea, man. Should be something really like the sea. So it invites you to that. It invites you to that kind of environment of adventure. Discover a once thriving ocean now tainted by enigmatic dark entities. Your quest, decipher the mystery and rekindle the ocean's radiant light. Decipher the mystery. So is it like some puzzle solving and stuff like that? Maybe I missed that here. Anyway, so a bit of a missed opportunity in a couple of things, but I think that they did a really good job with the trailer. positive game, positive reviews. They should do something about this. Cool. So I think the screenshots. I think the screenshots are nice. They were good. So they were had good screenshots, very good copy. The key art is bad, and the trailer is good. It could have been so much better. It could have been very good to excellent if they have included their their captions and tell a little bit more of the story. So I want to give a chance to Vendetta Forever because I think that I didn't find the trailer. 20, I mean,
Can you hear my voice?
awesome. I love it. I think this is great. It's a very good trailer. So for a trailer, I'm gonna give it a 4. All right, so it's decision time. See, lay down. It's decision time. So we had a really good games today that we reviewed, and Vendetta trailer was really good. But I would say that of all, let's start with the best key art. For the best key art, I think that there's no argument, discussion whatsoever. Midnight Walk is the best key art by far. So here, well done. What a beautiful, beautiful key art this is. The Midnight Walk. Love it. It has no competition. This is lovely. The whole how it's centered, the main character and the foes around it, and the writing, it really pops up, and it has a style, it has a feeling to it. It's beautiful. So very good work. The best trailer. There's a competition for the best trailer. Because the best trailers today they were very unique. I think that the definitely it is between Imperial and Spirit of the North. And yeah, to me, the Spirit of the North wins because there's so much of a story that you can tell just by looking at it without any lines. And the game helps it. It's beautiful, it's unique. And that's the one of the best trailer. So Spirit of the North has the best trailer today, I think, even though Imperial did so well technically. But this one really hit me in my heart. It's just cute, man. Anyway, and then for the best launch, I think that for the best launch, Your Grace really did a job, but the trailer didn't quite made it there. And this Midnight Walk, screenshots, copy, key art, the trailer was okay. It was good. It was really nice. The trailer was really nice. Um, the trailer was okay. It really is between these two. But I think Midnight Walk has the best launch. We're not discussing the trailer, we're discussing the launch, and I think that Midnight Walk has the best launch without a doubt. So the best launch is for Midnight Walk. And that's it. These are our winners today. So best key art is Midnight Walk. The best trailer was Spirit of the North, and the best launch is for Midnight Walk. They did the best, job all around on Steam. I'm gonna write something about it. I don't know. Maybe I want to write something about Imperial. Yes, maybe I'll do that. Thanks for watching. Ciao.